everyone, and welcome back to another movie review, the first one of October 2024. You know I love to do these every year. They're not all necessarily Halloween themed, they're not all necessarily horror themed, they're just October-y vibes, you know? And this year I decided to really kick it up a notch and bring on Dark BB as a persona for October. Don't worry, it's a wig, I didn't really dye it black. Anyway, so... in case there was any doubt, and in case anyone got scared. If I am kind of digging it, I am kind of half considering. Anyway, so, did the movie, So I Married an Axe Murderer, which, by the way, was the very last thing of Mike Myers that I needed to see, so I can honestly say I have now seen every single thing that man has ever filmed. Yeah. I am that person. And how this one skated under the radar for so many years for me, I don't know. I truly don't know. It's not like I didn't know it existed, which just was a matter of actually watching it. And now I feel like I was missing out for so many years. This came out in 1993, which, I mean, probably why I didn't see it when it first came out, just based on title alone. I was a wuss. 93, I would have been, what, 8 years old, so a little young for it. But basically, the gist of this one, Mike Myers' character is, let's be real, proto-Austin Powers, but American. You can absolutely see where this was the jumping springboard to Austin is the next project. But anyway, so he plays essentially a beat poet, not necessarily a very good one, but one nonetheless. It takes place in San Francisco, and hey, for once I actually accurately pinged that right away. Usually I think it is, and then it turns out, nah, that's Chicago. Nah, that's Brooklyn. Nah, that's da-da-da. It's like, wow, I'm really bad at this. I was right this time. But anyway, so he's doing his beat poetry thing, and the whole thing with his character is that he never lets himself get close to women. He has commitment issues. I can relate. So he self-sabotages every time he starts to get a little too close with anybody because he's paranoid that something's going to go horribly, horrifically wrong. And his best friend, who is played by Anthony Paglia, or LaPaglia, sorry, is trying to point this out to him, that you literally are self-sabotaging. Tell me the reasons why all the others scared you off. What was the reason that you broke up with them? And he starts going down the list, and they start out legit enough, and they start getting more and more ridiculous to the point of, she smelled like soup. She smelled exactly like beef and vegetable soup. It's like, okay, yeah, this is a you problem, not a them problem. So he kind of tries to urge him to get out of his little bubble with this, give it another try, maybe just, you know, trust that not everything in the world is out to get you. Not everything is scary, horrible, terrible. Give women another shot. So he happens to meet a woman at a butcher shop, or a little, like, meat market, like, Meats of the World, I think it is, and he's buying haggis because he's from a very Scottish family. By the way, he plays his own dad in this, too, as an aside, who's basically proto-fat bastard. Just saying. Just saying. He pretty much only has about, like, 4 or 5 voices that he goes between for all of his roles. I've said it before, I'll say it again, and it's still true. So, anyway, he plays his own dad, and, like, his mom is, like, very old school. They're quite eccentric, but, yeah. So there's that. There's a younger brother that the dad, for whatever reason, just likes to bully for having a big head. It's more just comic relief than anything, but regardless, so he's using them as an excuse to go to this meat market to talk to this woman, so he can go buy haggis, even though he finds the stuff repulsive. And she cottons on to that fairly quickly. And there turns out to be a day that he goes there just to see her, and it is slammed with customers, and she can't keep up as like a one-person operation, so he's like, well, it just so happens my dad used to be a butcher, and I used to help him. Would you like some help? As if it were that simple in real life. That would be breaking so many health codes, but besides the point. But she accepts because it's a movie. So, They're basically flirting nonstop all day as they serve all of these customers, and it gets more and more ridiculous as it goes along. And they decide to basically go out together that night after work's over and everything. And it goes so well that he's thinking he might get lucky, but then his commitment issues act up and he tries to tell her, you know, maybe we shouldn't sleep together. Not this soon, you know. Doesn't feel like it'll end well. And then she's like, but I'd like to go to bed with you. Okay, and that's all it takes. And before he knows it, he is now invested in this. And he really likes her, and it shows them falling more and more in love. And he's trying to find any reason to poke holes in this. And then he finds a reason. He brings her home to meet the parents, and while he's in the bathroom, he happens to see a newspaper in the bathroom. It's basically their equivalent of the National Enquirer, and there's this article about this woman, mystery woman, Miss X, who is notorious for killing her husbands right after marrying them, and he's noticing some details about them. There's a Russian, I think it was like, Taekwondo instructor. She mentioned that one of her exes was one of those. There's another one named Ralph, and she mentions the name Ralph in her sleep, and he's like, ha, ha, holy shit, I think this is the woman I'm dating. So he's freaking out. He needs any excuse out of there ASAP. Whole way home, it's awkward. He decides to basically dump her like a hot potato, tells his best friend all of this, and obviously the best friend's not having it, does not believe it for 1 second, thinks he's just being paranoid again. But he begs him to do him a solid. Please just use your connections at the police station to try to research this. Just see if there's anything, any dirt you can dig up on her, please. Or on this case, anything. Yeah, sure, whatever. So, he's thinking, oh my god, I probably just dodged a bullet. And then he thinks he's in the clear when somebody comes forward to confess to those murders. And it's not her. So he's thinking, I need to win her back. I've made a terrible mistake. You can see where this is going. You can. By the way, there's several cameos in this movie. One even from the late great Phil Hartman, which I'm like, oh, Phil, you are so missed. And one that I knew she looked familiar, but I didn't realize who it was until the credits. There's one of the officers at the police station. It's the comedian Lunel, which I recognized because my mom went to school with her, therefore she points her out anytime she's in anything, and I probably should have cottoned on a lot quicker. That's why the face looked familiar, but anyway. So, regardless, yeah, he basically tells him that he's paranoid. This woman came forward. It's not her. Full steam ahead. So he does everything in his power, goes very above and beyond to win her back. TLDR version, they get married. So, and it's right around this time that some more info starts to come through. That woman who confessed, turns out she's mentally disturbed and did not do it because she's confessing to all sorts of things like Abe Lincoln's murder, which obviously could not possibly have been her. Like, it's like, oh shit, this person is actually still on the loose. Maybe it is her. So he keeps pulling his connections and everything to try to, you know, humor him, just to see. But at this point, you know, he's let his guard down, false sense of security, he's trusting her, this, that, and the other. They decide to go away for a romantic weekend during a storm, when the lines are down. What a perfect storm of what the fuckery. And this is around the time that the best friend finds out that, holy shit, we have photos of the person who was married to all of these men who've been killed. It's her. This is her. Oh my god, he was right. He wasn't being paranoid. I have to warn him. How do I get to him? Insanity ensues as he tries to get to him in time before, you know, he gets bumped off like the other three. I forgot to mention a key point here. Spoilers, but this is a movie from 1993, so if you don't want spoilers, don't watch the rest of this, or just fast forward to the very end to see what I rated it. Otherwise, I did not mention she has an identical sister. Yes, who has been in the picture the whole time. Just as a weirdo, has a different voice, but otherwise looks the same. It's very confusing. But, with that in mind, turns out she's the one who's been doing the killings. Not the one he's been dating. No, not at all. So, one thing leads to another. Sister locks the wife in the closet, goes after him with a literal axe. It's like, oh, shit. There's a whole crazy chase scene that leads out the window onto the roof. Like, it is so far-fetched and over-the-top ridiculous, but at the same time, it is suspenseful. As over-the-top as it is suspenseful, and you're like, oh, shit, the whole time. Like, what's gonna happen? Like, I assume it's a Mike Myers movie. It's comedy. Like, she's not gonna get him, but oh my god, what's gonna happen? Yeah. Anyway. It does have a happy ending, but oh my god, I was not expecting this film to have had quite that plot twist, even though I knew it seemed like kind of an odd choice to have the sister character there. It was like, why is she even here? I guess just world building, until that plot twist, and then, oh, I probably should have seen that coming, but I didn't. So it did, in fact, hit as like a true plot twist for me. But anyway, yeah, I actually, as goofy as this movie is, for as much of a box office flop as this movie was, because I believe it had a budget of $20 million to make, it earned back about 11. Yeah, but it seems to have gained a cult following since then. And now I see why. This film is hilarious, and I mean, it seems to be largely forgotten, it seems like. And that's a shame because of Mike Myers' movies. I mean, there's so many other ones you hear about a lot more that are objectively far worse. Whereas this one, this is actually enjoyable. Goofy, madcap, sure. Over the top, sure. But it is funny, and it is a good movie in my opinion. I may be in the minority here, rating it as highly as I'm going to. I am going to give it a full-on 4.5 out of 5 stars. Because I enjoyed it that much. Am I biased because it's Mike Myers? Probably. But I am also trying to be objective in thinking if this were anyone who wasn't Mike Myers, would I rate it the same? And I believe I would. I think I truly would, because I really, really liked it to the point where I'm like, I should buy this movie. Why is this not in my collection? I need to fix this oversight. So anyway, that is that. If you have never seen it, go look it up. Do your homework. It is online. It's not on streaming at the moment, but dig around online. You don't have to sail the 7 seas to find it. You don't have to go that far. Just know where to search. You'll find it. If you're savvy about it, you know exactly where to look, and it's not even one of the sketchy sites. It's actually a very legit site, has it on it, so. Anyway, those are my thoughts. Take them or leave them. So, anyway, October 1st, down in the books for my reviews. So anyway, that is it for this one, and as always, you know what to do. If you like this video, go ahead and give it a like. If you're not already and you'd like to be, click subscribe. Hit that notification bell icon so you never miss an upload. Leave comments down below. Make sure you're following my social media accounts, my Facebook fan page, my Twitter, my Instagram, my eBay, my Reddits, everything and more. It's all down below. And if you like what I do here on this channel and you'd like to help support it, the donation link, as always, is down in the description. Get your name on the end card for a month from the time of donating. Anyway, guys, till next time, see ya.